the music, the fashion in season 2, unmatched. Because at this point, Hannah Montana was the queen of Disney. She like flips on her wig and she goes, "I'm Hannah Montana." And then the words on screen say, "To be continued."
Ooh.
The drama.
What's up, Hannah Montana?
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. What's up?
You're watching Talk Miley to Me. This wig is ratty.
Well,
you can only
take
see
it
what
out.
You could see because the rest is ratty behind me.
I don't feel like it looks bad, at least from like me looking at you. The bangs are kind of rough. Okay, remind me, whenever you did your Hannah Montana Halloween costume in this wig, did you cut your bangs?
I did cut them, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of weird.
You could tell. I think you could tell.
They kind of look like my bangs circa 2008 that my mom used to cut.
Yeah.
Actually, yours is better than what she did. So
okay. Also, I swear that this wig looked better during my Hannah when I was in like the full drag. This is like half drag, I'd say.
Yeah, and you had sunglasses.
Yeah. I did my
but
makeup
I don't think
a little bit
bad.
more.
I think it looks great.
Thank you.
More Hannah Montana.
I wish it was more season 2. Like you could like clip it up, but I don't think that was our journey.
Then you would see the wig cap.
The cap.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm wearing my I thrifted this. Well, my roommate found it for me. It's just like this shimmery silver black striped top that is giving very much Best of Both Worlds tour dress when she takes like the long sleeves off. And I do have leggings on, not that you could tell, but I'm trying to be as accurate as I can for my personal aesthetic. But where was I going with that?
I don't know where you were going with that.
Wait, where was I going with that?
I don't know what you were doing.
Maybe I just wanted to tell everyone what I was wearing.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay too. That's what you should. For the audio listeners only, this is what we're working with. But yeah, it's so fun.
If I was going to say something, I'm sure it would have been good. So just imagine that.
This is actually the first time we're recording after, like a main episode after going to the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary taping, which
can you tell?
You guys are sick about. Yeah.
Can you tell that we've been changed for the better?
Can you tell that we went? We've been so annoying online.
So annoying. I'm serious. Like, and in real life, I won't shut up about it. But I
obviously
do.
Like,
because I haven't been spilling the beans.
We have not been spilling the beans. I know there's people online that have been spilling the beans, but I'm someone that hates to be spoiled for anything.
Me too.
I hate spoilers. Like if I'm watching a show, I don't want any spoilers. So I would feel the same way if I wasn't able to attend. I would not want to be spoiled on what we're about to get.
Same.
Because it also makes speculation like fun too.
No, exactly. I don't want, like I'm doing it. Well, 1, I'm doing it because Miley asked us to, most importantly. But 2, because I care about all of you and I want you to have the same shock factor that we did.
Yeah. And for those that do really want to know, I'm sure you can find out because there are rats online talking in the streets.
But I really do encourage you
probably don't.
To not find out. I really do, because it'll make it more special.
Well, and we don't even know, like Becky and I went to the taping, but that was just a small portion of what is to come.
Yeah.
So we don't even really know what we're going to expect either. So that's kind of fun too, that we don't know. But yeah, our lives are forever changed. I could think obviously, we have a vlog about our experience. So if you haven't watched that, go to our YouTube. It's like, 14 minutes of your life. So you get like a quick highlight reel of our whole LA trip. It was really fun. Obviously, like I always say this after every vlog, I'm like, I wish we would have recorded more, but also we were trying to balance recording and then also like being in the moment.
Yeah. So that's what's so hard.
And like we got our phones taken when we got there shortly after.
A whole half of one of our days. Yeah.
Yeah. So that made it a little hard. My favorite part of that vlog is when, we're like mentally overstimulated when we're outside and I'm like, everyone tell me your experience, how do you feel? And I ask you and you like give this beautiful answer, everything was fine. And then I ask Lorian and he gets like 2 words out and then I'm like, oh yeah, and we got these shirts and I just like skip over him and he's like, oh, I was just pouring he's like, I was just pouring, and I don't even remember that in the moment, by the way.
No, because
like when I went back to edit, I was like, oh wow, I kind of like was a huge asshole there.
There was no thoughts in our brains. It's okay. Yeah.
True friends understand. But and then he's like sharing to me, yeah, I just poured my heart out to you and you just said, yeah, look at these shirts. And then I continue to ignore him because I've been seeing French Bulldog like the whole trip I was there. Because obviously, like, they're the most popular dog. I don't know why I get so gagged when I see a French Bulldog, but I do because I love dogs. They also look very much like Boston Terriers, which is my favorite dog. Anyway, so I'm like zooming in to these people that are now behind a car so you can't even see the dog. And I'm like, oh my God, a Frenchie. And he's like, oh, this whole time I was wondering if you were talking about French people. He's like, I was like, where are they?
He's like, why are you calling us that? Yeah, he's very, very, very good at English, but something like that is like pretty niche.
It's a weird,
that's like, I don't think is universal. And so that was like a barrier there. That was so funny.
Yeah. I was laughing while I was editing. Like, honestly, when I was editing that vlog, I was cackling the whole time.
No, me too. I was watching it back too. And I can't lie, I think I've watched it 6 times because it was seriously like my favorite couple of days. And it's fun vlogging because then we get to relive it.
That's how we felt about the Spotify thing too. And
yes, I've watched that a few times.
This one was even better.
This one was even better.
So make sure to go check it out because it's really a good watch. It's very fun, chaotic. Very fun. There's a lot of emotions and we're just having the good life.
Yeah. An unexpected extra bonus for all of us and for our YouTube channel, which was an interruption in our series that we're continuing today. Also, hey, welcome to Talk Miley to Me, which is for the month of March, Talk Hannah to Me. I'm Becky.
I'm Molly.
And today we're going to talk Hannah Montana season 2 to you.
Yeah.
We're doing a deep dive. I hope you brought your gear.
I'm so excited for this one.
No, this is good. Would you say Hannah Montana season 2 was like the peak of Hannah Montana?
Yes.
That's what That's what the streets are saying online through my research too. And I have to agree.
I have to agree too. Like, obviously nothing will beat Hannah Montana 1 just from like that was the start and like everything. But when we think about this actual show and like the season itself, I mean, when I was looking through these episodes, it was like banger, banger, banger.
Yeah.
Like every episode was so good.
Yeah.
And she was kind of getting her footing. Like she already got like used to Hannah Montana. So she was able to like give more in her acting.
Yes.
Like she felt more comfortable and slightly more mature, just like a little bit. I feel like she grew up so much like between each season, which we've talked about.
Yeah.
But she was still pretty young to where she was fully invested into season 2.
Totally.
As we're going to get into like season 3, like she's kind of there, but she's also like kind of like over it a little bit.
I know.
And then,
Isn't
Hannah Montana Forever,
quickly?
she's out of it. She's like, I'm over it.
Halfway out the door for sure. No. And it's, it is crazy. Just the difference you could tell when watching back, which is crazy because the filming for Hannah Montana season 2 began in November of 2006. And if you remember, season 1 wrapped filming in September of 2006. She had 2 months of a break and somehow grew up that much.
No, that's crazy. And also I did look up to see when did the season 1 end? Like when was the last episode premiere for season 1? And it was in March. Season 1 went through March 30th, 2007. And then literally not even a month later is when they aired season 2. Isn't that nuts?
Isn't that crazy? You would think
now
that
we
there
have
was
to
like
wait
longer
like a year
breaks.
and a half.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But they had, all of us know better than anyone. They had this girl working. Okay.
Well, yeah. And that was the thing too. She was growing up so quick because as they do, like as children do, they grew up so quick. They were trying to get the most out of her as they could before she grew out of Disney.
Exactly. Well, that and just the way that this show and this pop star was like such a cash cow for Disney. They were like, we cannot take our foot off of the gas now. And they didn't. And they filmed, by the way, like I said, they started in November 2006. They didn't stop filming until November 2007. So there was just definitely a lot of time. But there was like 30 episodes in this season. So they had a lot to do.
And I feel like she had so much going on too in her just celebrity life of it all that they probably had to work around. Yeah, they had to work around her tour
Yeah, because she was doing the Best of Both Worlds tour was like immediately following the airing of this season. So this season aired April 23rd, 2007 through October 12th, 2008. So this also like was on air for a really long time.
So did they end filming right before she got on that tour? I think so. Because I think she started that tour in the fall of 2007 and it says they ended filming in September 2007. So that would make sense.
So that means she went straight from filming the show into tour rehearsals. Gotcha, and also during all of this time, she also went to do her little High School Musical 2 cameo, which she probably filmed in like April or May of 2007.
Yeah. And she just was like, as we've gotten to our like yearly deep dives of her career, she does so much too. Like she goes to all these events and premieres and
of everything signings. Else, of her own things. Yes. Yeah. Because they wanted this girl everywhere. Because at this point, Hannah Montana was the queen of Disney.
She was. Like, Selena Gomez was not even like, I mean, she was like kind of getting her footing, but she was not even close to like the amount of fame that Miley was.
Right. And Disney, obviously, they figured this out. And that was part of the reason that they used her to go to all these things. That's why she had that crazy busy schedule. But they also like aimed so much of their merch and their marketing towards tween girls, mostly girls. I literally recently saw online, someone was like, why were they not giving little boys Hannah Montana stuff? We wanted that.
Yeah, no, there was no unisex.
No, there was no unisex. It was just only for little girls, which, criminal. You know, the gays that wanted it, they did get it. But the merch that Disney was putting out to tweens at that point surged from $400 million revenue after Hannah Montana, and they started shifting gears to $2.7 billion in revenue because of like Hannah Montana and High School Musical using those things to sell to us.
Yeah, insane. That was the two main things. Like when you would go to a store, you would see either Hannah Montana or High School Musical.
Yeah.
During that year at least.
Yeah, it's crazy. Steven Peterman, which is one of the writers, he has a quote that just says, "The show became bigger than the channel." And it really did. It like had nothing to do with just Disney Channel anymore. And we've talked about this and we've read that book, Disney High, that
Yeah, that was so fun. We had the author on.
Yeah, we had the author on. So if you haven't listened to that episode, that was like probably 3 years ago, maybe 2.
Which is crazy. But that was a good episode. Honestly, if you haven't watched that or listened to that episode, run it back.
And I use this book for a lot of the research here. But no, it really did come bigger than the channel. And we've talked about that. The whole premise of Disney High is like just the empire that Disney was running during this time. And everyone, even adults, knew what was going on the Disney Channel, it felt like. And at this point, I have no clue what even is on Disney Channel, right?
Well, didn't they like say they were getting rid of it or something?
They got rid of Radio Disney.
Because it's just like, oh, I thought they were
they might
closing Disney Channel too. And they were like only going to have it on Disney Plus as like a streaming
I guess that would make sense.
But like the actual cable network, I think, is gone. I don't know. I swore I saw people online freaking out about that. But also, this is like a random question. Have you tried looking into the 24/7 Hannah Montana stream on Disney Plus?
No.
Okay, well, I can't find it. And apparently it's happening, but I can't find where to go for that. So I was just wondering if you
didn't
found it at all. But
I didn't know this was happening.
Yeah. Maybe if it is happening, then you guys should check that out. I'll try to find it. Let me know if you guys know where to find that at. Because I was trying to just play it to see, because they'll just like randomly play Hannah Montana episodes.
So fun.
Which is kind of like nostalgic.
Yeah.
In a crazy way.
Yeah.
That like not knowing what episode is next is nostalgic because now we have so much control.
No, that is so true. Well, okay, and so that's something that I was thinking about because, you know, when we were talking about like Hannah Montana 2 being the peak, but also Hannah Montana 1 like being like so ingrained in childhood. And I think it's because obviously since those are older, season 1 and season 2, by the time season 3 Forever rolled around, like they're still playing reruns of season 1 and 2, so we've just seen them so much more. And like maybe we weren't watching Disney Channel at the time that seasons 3 and Forever were like doing reruns. That's probably part of it too. But yeah, like I said, it got bigger than the channel, which is how they got so much interest from celebrities to have like so many celebrity guest stars on this season. I've been watching it back and every single episode my jaw's on the floor being like, why is this person on Hannah Montana? There's just so many. So one of the ones that I thought was funny that was kind of like a recurring theme in the season was that Karina Smirnoff, she is a professional dancer and she was on Dancing with the Stars, and she was partnered with Billy Ray Cyrus on season 4. So that was filming at the time that they were filming for season 2 and would be airing probably around similar times. So this was a joke several times in the show. She was in it. I think she was in the episode once, but they had talked about, like, Dancing with the Stars was talked about in their home, which is really fun because I love it that they live in the same universe that we do, which we've talked about. They talk about the same celebrities. They talk about the same TV shows and the same events that we do, which is really fun. So yeah, he was on Dancing with the Stars early spring. He placed 5th and he was eliminated on May 8th in 2007. I heard he was
really bad.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that season because I wasn't into the Dancing with the Stars universe at that time, but I heard he was bad. And also, this is kind of crazy because now Disney owns ABC, right? But at that time, I don't think they did.
No.
So this was kind of like a collaboration between Disney and ABC because Disney was like this. I mean, this kind of like helps promote Dancing with the Stars to a younger audience.
Yeah. So that was fun to give Robbie Ray, his little cameo, I guess.
Smirnoff?
Yeah, that's
like the vodka?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Another big one that they got was Larry David, and this is because his daughters were such huge fans of the show. They came to the tapings and producers were like, "Hey, Larry, do you guys want to be on the show?" And he was like, "Oh my God, yeah." And so they did this like skit that was very like reminiscent of Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is shows that Larry David wrote and starred in. It was like they went to this fancy restaurant and they were waiting for a table. Larry David and his daughters were playing themselves. And they're like, "I'm so sorry, we're booked." And Hannah Montana rolls in and she's like, "Hey, I need a table." And they're like, "Right there, we got you." Which is actually a scenario that happened in Seinfeld, which is hilarious.
So that is a show you do watch.
It is a show I do watch. Yes.
Yeah.
So his 2 daughters, Romy and Cassie. Romy is younger. She was actually the one that was a huge fan, and Cassie like really didn't care much. I think she was just along for the ride at that point. She later said she hated filming that scene, and she's just like fully blocked it from her memory. She said it in some interview on a podcast or in her book, maybe.
Well, I read her book.
Okay, so it wasn't.
And I don't remember.
I think
it was a few years ago.
Yeah,
or maybe a podcast.
I think it was like a recent podcast that she was just like, "No, I really wasn't about that."
Oh my God, what a little rat.
I know.
Sorry, Cassie.
Heather Locklear was also on the show. This is also because her daughters loved the show so much. Heather Locklear, Lily Truscott's mom. Cameron Manheim also was on it because of children, their own kids enjoying the show. Same with Brooke Shields. Like, that's how they got so many of these actors, because they had kids that loved Hannah Montana the way that we did. Yeah. So that was really fun. Just a couple other names that were in the season: Gilbert Gottfried, David Koechner, he's Uncle Earl, Donny Osmond, Ray Romano were playing themselves in a celebrity appearance. Vicki Lawrence, Mama the Queen. Dolly Parton, of course, was on this season again. John D'Aquino and Madison Pettis. These were stars in Cory in the House. They were the president and the president's daughter. And this was actually like kind of a crossover episode. I don't think that they made the biggest deal about it, but at the time we knew that we were watching Cory in the House, and we knew, oh, those are the same characters from that show. Madison Pettis recently, also on a podcast, was talking about working with Miley, and she was like, she was so nice to me. She goes, "No, I swear to God, she is the nicest. She treated me like a peer." Madison is years younger than Miley. Like, she was expecting them to be like, "Oh, she's just this cute little girl," but Miley like had her come hang out, have lunch, hang in the dressing room, and let her play with her dog.
Aww.
Yeah.
I love that episode.
No, it was a good one. The Jonas Brothers, of course, that was earth-shattering. Selena Gomez on this season. Austin Butler, who wasn't a huge name at the time, but watching it back, he wasn't a huge name, but he was guest starring on like all of the shows we were watching at the same time. Yeah. So We 101, Ned's Declassified, iCarly. So this was maybe like his first Disney stint. Sounds like he was guest starring a lot on Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm.
Sterling Knight's another one where we're like, oh, we know him, but wasn't a huge name at the time. He was just like another character they brought in. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, because obviously, which is so funny because I don't know what this chokehold this man had over us at this time in our lives.
Everyone.
The reason he was on Hannah Montana is because there was an entire week called The Rock Block, where The Rock was guest starring on every show on Disney for an entire week.
Wait, I didn't realize this.
Yes.
Like, I don't remember this. What an icon.
I know.
That's crazy.
Why were we obsessed with The Rock as kids? Don't know. But he was taking that to his advantage.
The whole world was.
Yes.
Like, parents, grandparents, us.
Right. Good for him. And he capitalized.
Good for him.
And then to close out the season for the finale, Corbin Bleu does return, which is cute because he was in the very first episode and then he was there to close out season 2.
Yeah, so many guest stars.
So many. Isn't that insane? I'm telling you, I was watching it. I'm like, again and again and again. Oh, and one that I actually forgot to mention, Joey Fatone. He was on it too.
Duh. Lisa Rinna was in the 3rd season, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's even more in the 3rd season.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's a lot to keep up with. Yeah, especially when you think about the 1st season, like Dolly, Vicki Lawrence.
Yeah, already.
She literally had to play her own cousin.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So season 2 starts out. The trio goes to high school. So we have new set, new school. And it does kick off with the episode Me and Rico down by the schoolyard. It's like literally just setting the scene that they're in this new school in high school. So this makes them freshmen, 14, 15 years old. This is the season that Rico becomes a main core character. They realized how much we loved Rico, and so he's now in every single episode, and they edited the title sequence to include clips of him as well. So justice for Rico. He got it. Season 2 is when Oliver gets his alias. He becomes closer into the main storyline as well. So this is where we get Mike Stanley.
Mike Stan. Mike Stand. Lee. Mike Stanley.
This helps Oliver and Miley get closer in their relationship as well. Season 2, it was like such a big deal. We were so ready for it that when the season debuted, it came out on a Monday actually, and they gave us 5 days of new episodes in a row. This is why we said, like I said last episode, they fed us then. That's why we're so hungry now.
It's true. They were feeding us. I mean, we had Miley Hannah content like every day.
Obviously, we're not going to talk about every single episode, but there was like a lot of historical moments in a lot of the episodes. Mm-hmm. One of them being Get Down, Study Uddy Uddy is the title of it. And this is, of course, where we got the bone dance.
Like, people still talk about it.
I wish that there's got to be multiple teachers our age out there that like implement this into their science teaching.
And like, I always wonder too if this inspired the writers to do Hoedown Throwdown in the movie because they saw people resonate with the bone dance so much.
Yeah, maybe. They're like these.
Obviously, the Hoedown Throwdown was bigger, but these kids want to pop out.
If they gave us that as a recorded, I would probably listen to it. If they gave us a recorded version of the bone dance.
Yeah, put her on streaming.
We
have Hoedown Throwdown on streaming.
What we've learned before
bone
is
dance.
If we harass them enough, they'll probably do it. So
yeah,
bone dance stands rise.
Especially for the 20th anniversary. We need to bully them into doing this.
Revolution. Renaissance of the bone dance. I Am Hannah, Hear Me Croak was a big one. This is when she loses her voice, needs surgery, and is worried that it'll ruin her career. Predicted real life.
Sounds familiar.
We talk all the time. They used her actual life as the character here. Not that they knew that she had her vocal polyps or whatever they are, but like that is crazy.
Maybe they knew because of how much they were working her and making her sing and not giving her any vocal training.
True.
Doing so.
I mean, maybe. But this episode's also where we got Bucky, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Remember him?
For anyone that doesn't know that might be listening, Miley had to go under vocal surgery in 2019. Her vocal cords were fucked up, and the doctor literally told her, we don't ever do these surgeries unless it's like Steven Tyler or like all these old rockers that have been doing it their whole life. But because of how much she was working through the industry, through Disney Channel, and then afterwards nonstop, Bangers tour probably had a toll on it too, with staying up all night after touring. But she had to undergo surgery for her vocal cords, and that's literally what happens in this episode.
Yeah.
For Hannah Montana.
Yeah. It's crazy, the parallels that this show has to her real life, whether they're purposeful or not. The other one, the Take This Job and Love It, this is the crossover episode I was talking about with the Corey in the House characters, and Roxy is a big character in this episode, which Roxy also had a chokehold. I don't think you could go to school and not hear Roxy Like a Puma at least once a day. Then we have our first like special with Achy Jakey Heart Part 1 and 2, the return of Jake Ryan, where we tell Jake Ryan our secret. Then in Part 2, he becomes this like normal person disguise and is just absolutely insufferable, and Miley wants to dump him.
Yeah, I was so sad for this though. I mean, from the exposed, like showing him that she is Hannah Montana, him like confessing his love for her on TV. Yeah, it's crazy.
It was dramatic. But do you remember she like flips on her wig and she goes, I'm Hannah Montana, and then the words on the screen say to be continued?
Ooh,
the drama. And do you want to know what I found out? Do you know when Part 2 was aired? Immediately following, they aired both episodes on the same night.
There was no waiting. Yeah, that's kind of not good, because you got to keep people sat and like anticipating.
Right, but also we're kids.
We have no.
We were kids. Span. Would we have even remembered? I mean, with something like that, true. I would have been thinking about it all week.
They were just trying to get us to the next episode.
Yeah, but they played both of them for us in the same night.
Love that. I need shows to do that now.
And that's why we just need instant gratification.
True. This is why we all have problems with our attention span.
Yes.
Now. Not TikTok.
Disney Channel. Achy Jakey Heart. Yeah.
Achy Jakey Heart. Oh wait, you kind of skipped over the My Best Friend's boyfriend. Lily's boyfriend cheats on her.
Lily gets a boyfriend, and then and this is Sterling Knight, and then we find out that he's like kissing other girls. Guys, what is with Disney Channel and cheating scandals?
Yeah,
for kids.
Because as we're gonna get into, in Hannah Montana Forever, that traumatized me. No spoilers here yet, but we'll talk about the trauma when we get to season 4. Lily's boyfriend cheats on her while they're freshmen.
In high school. I remember every show. Like, I know that Good Luck Charlie, two-timing pig, Spencer.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure there was cheating in Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah, that sounds right.
There was cheating in, I swear to God, every boyfriend cheats on their girlfriend on a Disney Channel show. What's up with that? They're just showing us what the real world is like.
True. Did you know that in real life, Spencer cheated on Charlie? Because they dated in real life too. And
I hate that guy.
He cheated on her.
I'm not surprised to hear it. Horrible character played by horrible guy.
True.
I pulled out, I said these are like not all of them. I literally pulled out like 17 out of the 30 episodes, but
most of them.
No, because like they were said, so good. Banger after banger that were like just so either iconic and relevant to the overall like arc of the show, or just like the guest stars.
Yeah.
When You Wish Upon a Star, that's when Miley wishes she was Hannah all the time. I Want You to Want Me to Go to Florida. Drama. Speaking of drama.
This is where the show got deep.
Yes. This is like the big Michaela feud with Selena Gomez. She has to go to Florida to do this thing with her, but Robbie Ray was like, oh, he hurts his back or something. So he's like, I can't go to Florida, so that means you can't, and you're 14, so you're not going without me. And she's like, but Dad. And then she goes.
What a little rat. Doesn't he say my achy breaky back, or is that something else?
He might.
I feel like that's in season 1 maybe.
But this is where we get Ready, Set, Don't Go, the duet by Billy Ray and Miley Cyrus. Yes. I included Everybody Was Best Friend Fighting because this is where we get the Hannah Montana tennis outfit.
Yeah.
Lily and Oliver had to argue over who gets to go to the +1 with Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
And they make a fool of
just
themselves.
For the tennis outfit itself.
Exactly.
The tennis
That's
outfit
the only reason.
itself.
Yeah. Then, of course, me and Mr. Jonas and Mr. Jonas and Mr. Jonas. This was, like I said earlier, earth-shattering.
And I love in our show notes, your reason for this is duh, and that's it.
That's why I included it.
Because we knew.
Yeah.
We know.
Everybody knows. This, as we all know, was released immediately following High School Musical 2, A Night to Remember on Disney Channel. Lily's mom has got it going on. This was kind of a big deal because Lily's mom and we meet her. And then Billy Ray, Robbie Ray, Heather Locklear. Yeah. They date and it goes terribly.
Who I know her from being Tommy Lee's ex-wife. Tommy Lee from Motley Crue.
Insane.
She's a baddie.
I Will Always Loathe You. Such a good one. This is Mama and Aunt Dolly feuding. And Hannah Montana gets her award and they're like fighting in the background. Just a little too iconic. The subplot in this one is Rico wants to film a commercial, but he's like terrible in front of a camera. So he's like, well, I have to get an actor to do it. He wants these like big muscle guys. And they're like, Rico, that's not what you look like. So they end up finally like shooting it with this guy that looks just like Rico. And that is because in real life, that was Moises Arias' brother, Mateo. So that was fun that they did that. Bye Bye Ball is the Joey Vitolo episode played by Joey Fatone.
Yeah, it's just banger after banger.
I'm telling you, we're so sorry, Uncle Earl. We finally meet Uncle Earl. I feel like in season 1, he's referenced so much because they I mean, they're trying to like hammer in the fact that she's from Tennessee now living in LA for this new life. So they have to keep talking about her country roots. So we finally get to meet Uncle Earl and he gets to live out his rock star dreams. And he's also played by kind of like a celebrity guest. Yet another side of me. This is the next that we reference frequently on this show.
All the time.
And then finally, the finale, we're all on this date together. This is just the return of Corbin Bleu. And this is also the episode that has Donny Osmond and Ray Romano. So obviously those are just like a couple big ones.
A couple as we just laid out like 75%.
Yeah.
But no, truly. The whole season, honestly. If there's one we didn't include, let us know in the comments because I'm sure there's many that we missed that you are probably like, why didn't you talk about this?
And that's your opportunity to talk about it. Tell us about
in the comments.
The historical moments that we missed. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Every single thing to me is a historical Hannah Montana moment. That's why we're here 20 years later, have to be rehashing it all.
Yeah.
But just a couple of like behind the scenes things that were happening through filming the season 2 concert, which I never even like really thought about as being a thing.
True.
But it's actually some of my favorite Hannah Montana performances. This like promotional concert that they filmed just to use in promotions as music videos and as footage of her shows on the show. This was filmed December 2nd, 2006 in the Anaheim Convention Center. Isn't that crazy? That's so early.
I think that was in 2006.
I know. They did this so much earlier than the filming of the actual season.
No, for sure. I guess I just like look at her and I'm like, oh, that's 2007 Lee.
No,
but
right.
Technically it's not. I mean, It's close enough, but well, what I liked about this season 2 performances is that when we look at season 1 performances, obviously that was before anyone even knew her. So, and she was like a year younger, probably most likely over a year younger, and she's like having to just kind of act like everyone knows her and put on this thing. Well, season 2, everyone knows her at this point, and there are actual fans in the crowd and people are like sad and just over the moon about being there. So I feel like that energy went into her too, where she just has so much more confidence on stage.
Yeah and you can definitely tell. Though, I mean, it was like still like fully fabricated, and they specifically invited these people to be like, you will be part of the filming of this. This is when you have to clap. This is when you have to cheer. This is what you should be saying in the crowd. But there was definitely less of that for this concert than there was for the season 1 concert. But they also probably got to see kind of like music video-esque filming because I'm sure that they did a few takes of everything, and it said like the band was miming sometimes. I'm sure Miley was lip syncing for a lot of the songs. So that would have been a little too iconic to witness. So if anyone was there.
What I found is interesting, like when you rewatch these performances, like the live version of them, sometimes they mix her live vocals with the studio vocals. Like they kind of jump back and forth. And they do that in season 3 too. Whereas season 1, it was just totally lip sync the whole time. Because when she does Nobody's Perfect, she's like, sometimes you feel like it's just one of those days, and she's like totally out of breath. And then they jump back into the vocals. Like they just kind of go back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, those are on Spotify now. If anyone has Spotify, not all of them, but Nobody's Perfect and I think Make Some Noise or Bigger Than Us, one of those two, you can watch those like performance music videos on Hannah Montana Spotify.
Love.
I love that.
And those are so
I want
good.
all of them on there. I'm living for Spotify music videos.
No, I do love it. It's a nice touch. So I said that the Corbin Bleu episode was like the finale of season 2. It wasn't supposed to be. There's an unaired episode called No Sugar Sugar. And this was like previewed, I think, and some moms saw it and they were like, no, you cannot do this. Because this is an episode where they gave Oliver a diagnosis of diabetes. And this actually did end up getting rewritten for season 3, but they couldn't air it in season 2 because they had to make a lot of changes to it of the whole storyline. Because with the diagnosis of diabetes, it was just like really, I mean, obviously they were kids, so Miley and Lily like misunderstood it. The moms were like, well, you're going to make all of our kids misunderstand it too. And basically the whole premise was that they went to this like huge candy party and they're like, Oliver, you can't eat any candy, which is like,
yeah,
obviously if you have diabetes, you can eat some candy. So they were just like worried that it was kind of like not poking fun, but just making something that's pretty serious, like kind of a little bit too silly and just like a little bit misleading for kids. So they needed to change the overall message, and they ended up still doing this in season 3. So we'll talk about that and how they changed it a little bit. But yeah, that was supposed to be in season 2. But also Nick Jonas, you think that had anything to do? Did Miley say we need to raise awareness for diabetes?
Wait,
do
maybe.
We think?
She writes for her man.
Do we think?
I don't know. Yeah, because that was like Nick Jonas's entire personality.
Yeah, and we were all so worried about him. So
I was worried. Yeah, I was scared.
But
clap if you were scared.
I don't know if Miley would have even had the power to be like, we shouldn't make an episode about diabetes, or Disney writers were smart enough to be like, these kids are worried about diabetes because of Nick Jonas.
No,
so
true. It probably was that. Actually,
it probably
was that.
Of course, off screen, we're still struggling with Emily Osment and Miley with their like competing with one another. So that's still going on off screen. This was like written about in the Disney High book with kind of like a struggle with Billy Ray on screen behind the scenes. So specifically, what she wrote about was in the episode, I Am Hannah, Hear Me Croak. And this is, you know, she stops being her pop star. So then she becomes this like useless burden in their home, right? It's kind of like a Cinderella-esque episode where she's just like the help. And there's this one moment where Billy Ray has to basically yell at her and say like, you are useless and what are you doing? And they really couldn't get him to like be rude, be mean to her and really truly yell the way that they wanted to. And it's because he wasn't the parent that ever did the discipline. It was Tish. He was always just like the fun dad. And that's the way that, I don't know if that's the way he wanted to be or that's just his parenting style or whatever. Or he just like wanted to be fun since they were coworkers too. Right? Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic.
But they had to pull him aside and be like, you have to yell and you have to be mean. But he was worried that he would scare her if he actually raised his voice. So that was like a hard thing backstage with them. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I feel like fathers and daughters too have that dynamic.
Yeah.
It's usually like the moms being harsher on the daughters and then the fathers being harsher on the sons.
Right.
So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Do you want to watch that video now?
Yeah. Let's play it.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Miley here in Hannah Montana's closet. The cool thing about the closet is it's a secret place that we can come and we actually hang out in the closet. Playing a character that has a secret is really fun because there's lots of twists and turns. I'm not the only one that has to walk around in disguise. When my friend comes along with me, she has to be Lola Lefnagel.
We have orange wigs, we have purple wigs, everything, every color you can possibly imagine.
Could Robbie Ray roll out some cash? Hannah needs a new outfit for Florida. The cool thing about having 2 different identities, it's really fun to get to have all the different kind of clothes and hair and makeup. Right over here, we've got all the shoes, purses, earrings, all the spinning clothes, which is really cool. We've got guitars. That dress was from one of the Jake Ryan episodes, so I really like that. I like the sparkles. So we've got lots of things from all kinds of different episodes, which is really cool.
I don't think I'm cool enough to pull off a secret identity. I really don't. I think I would get way too confused.
If I had a secret identity, I think being a pop star is pretty cool.
She's like, that should have been my role.
Right.
I know a couple of secrets about the other cast members. I do.
I've got some pretty good ones.
I am a blabbermouth, so I think nobody has telling me any secrets.
Why did you have to talk and ruin
He's
everything?
messy.
My secrets are that cool.
No one tells me anything they know, I'll spill.
Kidding.
I know people who like people, so that's sort of an interesting secret.
Who do you think that was?
I'm really a dork at heart, and I try to keep that a secret.
My secrets
Maybe
are...
Mitchell to Miley.
I went over my phone bill last month.
Doctor. I can't talk about it.
The thing is, we don't really have secrets. We talk all the time, so everybody pretty much knows everything.
They definitely know all my secrets because they're always around when I tell them. I always, like in the show, share my secrets with my best friend or, with one of my parents, which is kind of weird. But now that I'm with my dad all the time and I'm with my mom all the time here, then that's kind of, it turns into your best friends.
I was gonna say the fact that Mitchell Musso and Moises Arias had the same haircut, like
No,
the
I
exact
know.
same haircut. But every boy had that haircut back then.
Every single one. I mean, low-key, like, so did even, like, Jake Ryan and
True.
Jackson
Jason Earl's
did
a little
too.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, just not, maybe not as shaggy.
What I got from that is that Emily is kind of disconnected from the group.
No, I was thinking the same thing.
Jason Earls, Mitchell Musso, Miley were like probably kind of tight and fun, and Moises Arias, of course. But like their answers to things all matched up, kind of like they were on the same vibe. But then Emily was like, "Yeah, we have no secrets. Like we tell each other everything."
Yeah,
And
you're
Jason Earls
right.
was like, "I know secrets."
You're right.
He's like, "I know certain things." I don't know. They just didn't line up. I feel like Emily's kind of all of her answers were very like rehearsed.
That's true. That's true.
Not to drag her. But
No, that's a really good point because I mean, and that drives home the way like the rumors that are like, no, they didn't really get along, even though they do seem like they were good at hiding that. But when you dig deep and you look between that, yeah, crazy. In this season, we get to know the characters differently. This season, Miley and Hannah are going through like becoming aware of the downsides of fame. In the first season, we talked about how it was just kind of establishing the fact that she has this double life, and it's really like giving the details of just like, oh, yep, well, she gets home from school and then she goes to her concert or whatever. But this is now like the downsides of fame. She uses Hannah to try to solve a lot of her problems, which of course only complicates things further because she's still craving this like normal girl situations like school and dating, but Hannah is always going to complicate that. So we get a lot of plot about that. Meanwhile, with Lily, she's becoming a little bit more mature, becoming more confident in her friendship with Miley and Hannah, but there is like some more jealousy about that. And then in this season, we meet Lily's mom. With Oliver, we get the birth of Mike Stanley, which grows him closer to Miley and Hannah because he's obviously around more given. I mean, he knew the secret in season 1, episode 2, but he wasn't like around as much of the actual like pop star life. So he is more in there. He becomes like more confident and he does grow in his character development more than just being the comedic relief, even though he still very much is. Jackson still kind of doing his thing at Rico's. He's still obsessed with dating. And then just something fun that he yelled out in one episode, very briefly, we find out he's a Taurus.
he does give Taurus.
He does give Taurus. He's very headstrong. Robbie Ray continues to be our moral compass, but in this season, he's like struggling with trying to be a protective parent, but also letting his kids grow up. Would you like to go through your top 3 favorite episodes, given all this?
Yes. I've been waiting for this.
I've been waiting for this one.
Like we've talked about, this was so hard. They were just all bangers. It was very hard to narrow it down to a top 3, but I had to do it. So my number 3 favorite Hannah Montana season 2 episode is I Want You to Want Me to Go to Florida.
Yeah.
Which is where Billy Ray sings Get Ready, Get Set, Don't Go on the Plane. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Selena Gomez guest stars. There's that like kind of real life pop star rivalry happening. That kind of predicts I feel like the remaining like 2 years she has with Disney after this. But yeah, so that's my number 3.
My number 3, I'm going to go with Bye Bye Ball because I remember it just being like such a big deal that Joey Fatone was in there. But it's also fun. Like she has to perform at this Italian restaurant Oh, and just the Jackson's room of it all. Hilarious.
Oh my God. Yeah, traumatic.
But as an adult, I watched it back like belly laughing at this episode.
My number 2 is, this will come to no surprise, me and Mr. Jonas and Mr. Jonas and Mr. Jonas. I actually almost didn't include this because there were so many good episodes. However, I thought about the fact that they dress up as Milo and Otis, and I was like, okay, yeah, it has to be. Like, if it was just because of the Jonas Brothers, I was like, that's not strong enough for it to be in the top 3. But I thought about that iconic moment when they were dressing up as Milo and Otis, and I was like, okay, this is in the top 3.
No,
like,
that's my favorite. And when Miley goes, I'm Milo, and this is Otis.
Otis.
This is Otis.
This is my number 2 for that exact same reason. Acting was so good.
It was so good.
I'm like, here's me, I don't know, 6th year in a row begging you to be a Milo and Otis with me for Halloween.
We have to.
We have to.
Definitely next time we're like with each other on Halloween, we're doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
Has to happen.
You better clock us if we don't.
First. Wait, is that your number 2 you said?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're in sync. And obviously, like, the fact that the Jonas Brothers were on the episode is crazy because there were so many rumors about Miley and Nick going on that they were dating. We find out later that they were dating. One. Yeah. So this is just very in the moment for her real life.
Very.
Which is crazy too. Okay, my number 1 might come as no surprise is Achy Jakey Heart Part 1.
Yeah.
Because we get the reveal. He's on TV. I'm in love with a girl named Miley Stewart. Run it back. Zzz.
I'm in love with a girl named Miley Stewart. I'm in love with a girl named Miley Stewart.
I know. No, that one.
What about you?
It's one of those episodes that it's like, how did they accomplish that much in 20 minutes?
In 25 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes probably. Yeah.
Crazy. Well, mine is I Will Always Loathe You with the fight behind stage. It's just.
No, that's a good one too.
It's so good. And the dress she wears, I need it.
What was your most iconic moment?
Oh, it's going to have to be the Jake reveal.
Yeah, that's what So I put that too. And then I figured like you would maybe say that too. So I said honorable mention, Miley dressing up as Lola for the president's dog. That episode.
That one was good too. And then she eats the dog food.
That's the fact that really she's not only
honorable mention.
She dresses up as Lola was kind of crazy.
Yes. And Lily was Hannah Montana, yeah? With the president's daughter, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was like my niche answer, I guess.
I think another honorable mention would be Uncle Earl on stage with her.
True.
Because it was like such a long time coming too, with all of the talk about Uncle Earl. We finally meet him, and then we find out he wants to be a rock star. Go off, Uncle Earl.
I mean, don't we all?
Don't we all?
We all do.
The music, the fashion in season 2, unmatched.
So good. The best.
Molly has.
I think the best.
Molly has a personal YouTube channel that you all know, Molly on Pop, and she did a tier ranking video of all of the Hannah Montana season 2 fashion. An incredible watch. So make sure you go see that to see all these outfits.
I need to do season 3.
You do.
Maybe I'll do that soon.
You do need to do that.
I want to do that, and I'm also going to do a Niley deep dive. Oh. Because the streets are talking again about it. But there's so much research that needs to be done. So that's what's coming soon.
And who's going to do it but Molly, of course.
Me. Yes. I mean, I already know most of it up here. I just need to like put pen to paper, you know?
Exactly. No, but so fun. So the costume designer for season 2, her name's Dahlia Forotan. I think that would be how I would say it. Sorry, Dahlia. And we definitely have a different vibe in season 2 as far as fashion, just like a little bit. Disney, they didn't want anything too extravagant in her closet. They wanted it to be like pretty aspirational, like you die to dress like Hannah Montana, but still very attainable. I found out she shopped on Melrose, which Molly and I just took a stroll down just last week. Melrose is in downtown LA, and it's like a lot of thrifting and like very like trendy stuff, not like name brand stores. But she did also go to Nordstrom, and then there's this store called Kitson that a lot of celebrities shop at as well. That was for Hannah pieces. For Miley pieces, she shopped at Forever 21, H&M, and Target because she's just a regular girl like us. which I think is incredible. I think this season on Hannah Montana, we saw jackets, we saw belts and scarves still. I just felt like every Hannah look, there was a jacket.
Yeah, for sure.
Still like layers. With Miley Stewart, we saw like just a lot of layers. We saw like tank tops, skirts, layered shirts and tanks, just like casual, of course. I love it that Hannah Montana reuses pieces too. She's not afraid to do that.
Yeah, she just styles it differently.
Yeah, like there's multiple jackets that we've seen a couple times, the undershirts. I feel like she wears like white jeans a lot. Is this your like favorite fashion? That's what you just said, right?
Yes.
Of Hannah, yeah.
Yeah, I get really torn between 2 and 3.
Yeah,
for everything,
3 took it like too far for me.
3 was definitely kind of wacky.
But I still feel like pretty unique and like in a very like Hannah Montana way. There was really no one else doing it like her.
That's true. Yeah.
In season 2, we did get a couple different hairstyles. I feel like in season 1, we just had the wig. And that was it. But this time we started styling the wig. We still had same length, same colors in the stuff, but we got like little clips, little pins up there. She does like half up sometimes. She did it in a bun at the award ceremony, like a messy low bun. That was cute. But what was crazy about the hair in this season was Lily Trescott's hair.
Yeah.
She had the craziest, like some of it would be straight, some of it would be crimped. 2 pieces would be curled. I'm like, girl,
they kind of did that in season 1 too. But
yeah,
she
Lily
always
was
had
just
some
like
weird
wacky, but I just felt like I saw more of it in season 2 with her. And then Lola got a bunch of new wigs. But also Lola's style got a lot better in season 2. She was like actually seeming like she was putting looks together, where in season 1 it was just like, what is everything I have in my closet? I'm going to wear it all at once.
She had it, no, for sure. Season 2, she had like a style.
Yeah. Okay, and then of course the season 2 music. I think we've talked about how the Hannah Montana albums do deserve their own deep dives, but just briefly, of course, season 2 soundtrack did release as a dual album, the iconic Hannah Montana 2 Meet Miley Cyrus double album. Icon.
Did we do a deep dive on Meet Miley Cyrus?
We did, but I don't think that we talked about the Hannah Montana of it all.
True. We've done an album deep dive on Meet Miley Cyrus, but not, I guess we didn't do Hannah Montana side.
But yes, the Hannah Montana 2 original soundtrack. This was released June 26, 2007. So this was like a couple months into the release of the season. But it did debut at number 1 on the US Billboard 200. And then quickly it did end up becoming certified quadruple platinum at this point. This made Miley the 7th artist to chart this high under the age of 18. It spent 65 weeks on this chart, and that's because it was good. The lead single, of course, Nobody's Perfect. It was released May 15th, just ahead of the whole release of the whole soundtrack, and it peaked at 27 in the U.S. Everybody knows
the GP was eating this up when it came out.
The GP,
like, even like adults,
exactly.
Like I would say like young adults, but yeah.
Yeah, just the other day, my my cousin who's in his 30s, like we were talking about something silly, and he quoted, "Everybody has those days" or something.
Yeah. It was a movement.
It was a movement. There wasn't like I don't think that they would call it like an official second single, but they did push "Make Some Noise." And this was released June 5th. So what do you think about that being like the kind of second single?
I think it's interesting they didn't push Rockstar or Life's What You Make It.
I know. I think those were much better choices, but they decided to go with Make Some Noise, which is not one of my favorites.
Really? I love it.
You do?
So much.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah.
I just don't think it would ever be in like my top. This album was like focused more on like positive, self-empowering messages. There was also some like inclusions of the double life, but there was more depth than what we got in the first album. The first album was just like, I have 2 lives. Can you tell? In every single song, basically. This one, of course, like Rockstar and Old Blue Jeans, we're still getting like double life innuendos there, but this is more messages about like friendship and empowering girl power, I'd say.
Let's do our top 3 Hannah Montana 2 songs.
Yes.
My number 3 is Life's What You Make It.
Yeah.
Because obviously life is what you make it, and you better make it rock.
And you better make it rock. And you better work.
This song is like serotonin 500 times 500.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My number 3, I'm going to have to go with Nobody's Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not in my top 3.
Really?
Is that a hot
It just
take?
has to
I just feel
be.
like it does, but then on another hand, I'm like, for me personally, I feel like it's so overplayed that like I love it obviously, but it's not my top 3 because I think it's overplayed for me because everyone plays it so much.
I know,
but
and I know when
it's a top 5.
It's like it is hard to put the singles on your top list because it's just it feels like I say this every time. It just feels like the singles like aren't actually part of the record for me, but I have to do it.
Well, my number 2 is Rockstar.
Yeah. My number 2 is Life's What You Make It. So
yeah.
Okay.
Well, my number 1 is 1 in a Million.
I know. That's an honorable mention for me.
It's so good.
It so
like,
good.
Makes me emotional.
I know. And
it's
I
so
do quote it a lot. It's like 1 in a million. Yeah. They say
I just think
good things take time.
It sounds magical. The lyrics are pen to paper. So good.
I know.
The production sounds magical too.
I know.
Yeah. What's your number 1?
Well, I had to make it Rockstar.
Yeah. I was going to ask. So we were kind of, we both had 2 out of the 3 together.
Those I would say like all of them what we just named are like the front runners.
What's your least favorite song?
Oh.
I know that we didn't plan to share that, but I know mine.
I know yours too. Breaks my heart.
My confession is True Friend is the worst. Okay. True Friend or Old Blue Jeans. It might be Old Blue Jeans, actually. It's one of those 2.
That song is so fun.
Those 2 are skips for me. Actually, sorry. You and Me Together is the worst. I don't even know what I'm thinking. But I don't even think of that song as a Hannah Montana song.
I know. I agree.
I don't, because we've never heard her, we never saw her singing it. But we saw her in Brooke Shields, obviously, like doing a little kiki to it on the show.
Yeah.
But we never saw her in the wig singing it.
True.
So I think that's why I don't ever think about her.
That is a
good
point.
Also, it's just awful. Because who is that other woman on there singing on top of her? So yeah, actually, that would be the worst. The skip.
I agree.
The skip.
Well, it breaks my heart that Molly doesn't like True Friend because every time I listen to that, I think about Molly. So whatever.
I like it more than You and Me Together. So there's that.
I know. Just giving you shit. It is, it's an album closer, that's for sure, which aren't always the strongest of our favorites.
Is that your least favorite?
No, it's You and Me Together.
Yeah.
Or Bigger Than Us. That's sometimes a skip for me.
Jail! Jail time!
This love, it's bigger than us. I don't know. It just doesn't really do much for me.
How do you not love that?
Well, I don't know. I'm sorry.
So you'll bop to You're a True Friend.
Yes. Yes. And I will.
Okay.
And I do.
Okay.
Raise your hand if you're scared.
Or when we squawk into the mic from our singing.
I'm sure that scares you too.
I cut most of it, just so you know.
She does the Lord's work, truly.
Sometimes I'm like, yeah, that
Speaking
didn't land.
of squawking, there is another song in Hannah Montana 2 that I felt like we needed to talk about, which is called If Cupid Had a Heart by Michaela.
Macaque
The Macaque Roach. If Cupid Had a Heart, yes. We saw her perform it briefly, like a couple verses of it. I think that they should have included this on the soundtrack the way that they included the other songs on the Hannah Montana 1 soundtrack. So Cupid Had a Heart she deserved more.
Justice.
This is a song by an artist called Julie Griffin. And I have a confession that I never realized that Selena Gomez never, ever sang this song with her own voice.
Because I was like, who is this woman?
No, I was fully convinced that was Selena singing and that they had just like auto-tuned the shit out of it. But no, Selena was just lip syncing the whole time. They never recorded it with her voice. It was kind of like, the Drew Seeley, Zac Efron scandal with High School Musical. And this was either because Selena was not vocally developed enough to be able to perform this, or they just didn't want to go through the effort to record and edit and work on this for her just to sing like one verse of it on the show. But shout out to Julie Griffin and your song If Cupid Had a Heart, because that was a little too iconic in the Hannah Montana universe.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, yes. But season 2, truly, like, some of the fan favorites. The first season, again, it was just, like, establishing that she's got the double life. But this season was really, like, focusing on the complexity and complications of it all. The secret's more of a burden to her. But because of it, she's, like, finding who true friends are. Because, like, truly, like, family friendships and authenticity over fame was, like, the overarching goal and theme of it. It put like more pressure on the lying to everybody because she's trying to find her true identity. Like, does she really want to be a regular girl, or should she just be a pop star all the time? Obviously she chooses to like still have the secret at this point, but there's just a little bit more pressure of it.
Season 2 is probably my favorite out of all of them. From the music, I don't know about the music. That's hard. The music in season 3 is so good too, but just the aesthetic and the episodes, like I mentioned earlier in the season, but I feel like getting into season 3 is super exciting also because
I know,
like one of the best seasons of Hannah Montana. I mean,
I know there's only
season
4 of them,
2
and
it's
season
hard to...
Yeah, but between season 2 and season 3, I feel like there's such a difference between like music style and the plot. So yeah, season 3 next week will be good.
Yeah, but that's it. That was it. That was season 2. Yeah, thank you. And don't forget that Hannah Madness is going on.
Yes.
So we have Hannah Madness on our Instagram stories, and we post the brackets on our page. So make sure to go follow us on Instagram to vote for your favorite Hannah Montana songs. We have our Hannah Montana Talk Hannah to Me merch going on as well.
Yes.
And we are rewatching the Hannah Montana show on our Patreon, patreon.com/talkmiley2me. We've been going in order. So we're obviously still in season 1. So yeah, it's a lot of Hannah Montana happening right now.
Yes.
On everywhere you see.
As it should. As it should.
Yeah. Soon we'll be talking about season 3 next week. And then the week after that, we will be talking about the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special.
We're going to spill the beans.
And we may or may not be having another vlog coming out that is in celebration of the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary, because I'm going to visit Becky in Chicago that weekend right before the 24th. And so we might take you guys with what we're doing. Just a fun little vlog.
Yeah. They're just so fun to do too. So
yeah.
Some Hannah Montana feedings for you.
Yes.
We're doing our best.
But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Make it rock.